Okay, it's a pleasure to have everybody here. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Right, so as usual, we're here to do the weekly market analysis, and today is the 9th of June 2020. Right, so for this week, right, we're looking at a few instruments, and as you can see, Euro USD, right, we have it as an uptrend. Well, as we have it as an uptrend, something seems to be happening now. As from yesterday up till now, the market seems to be moving in a sideways manner, right? Where this was a former area of support and here resistance. So you can see the market is boxed here. So we should be looking out for a breakout. Most likely a breakout to the downside, a retest, and then further down. So that means our area of entry should be when it comes back to retest this area here. Or it should break out to the upside, come out to retest here, and then push higher, and then we look for an entry here. It's always good to look for a retest of particular areas or zones or levels, whatever you want to call it, is still the same thing. Now when you look out for a retest, pullback is to give you confirmation that the market wants to continue in that direction, right? So that's what we have here for Euro USD. And don't forget, Euro USD and USD CHF, they tend to move in opposite directions, right? So now continuing, we have GBP USD here, similar to what we have here. You can see for this GBP USD, the trend is up. As the trend is up, same thing here, we have it moving in this boxed area here. So either it breaks down to the upside or to the downside, and then we look for our entry, and the rest is history. So this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we do week in, week out, right? No need to to crack our heads on what's going to happen in the market. Once we know what we're looking out for, all we have to do is to wait for it to happen. Now you can see this is AED USD here. Now for this AED USD, you can see for us we already have the breakout, right? So as we have the breakout, what we're going to wait for now is a retest for this area and then to pull back. And as much as it's an uptrend rather, sorry, as much as an uptrend, we have some untested levels, untested as support that the market might want to get to test. So we're just trying to follow what's happening, notwithstanding that the trend is an uptrend. I'm looking forward to selling in these areas over here, most likely here on a retest. So this is what we do. As I said earlier, support and resistance using key levels is very key, right? Is I said key 2 times. Support and resistance areas or levels or zones is very important to our trading. Once you mark out your chart, all you have to do is to wait for the price action and then take action at the end of the day, right? You see the same thing here. You can see that most of these trades so far so good are similar. So that means that most likely at least we should have an entry this week. And as usual, we will do the updates later and then you will see. So the same thing here, similar to the others, just a breakout and then pull back where we get our entry here. Right, we get our entry here to short here, and then hopefully it drops even further down, right? Sorry. And it drops even further down, probably up to here. But if you get an entry here, your stop loss is here, your take profit is here, that is obviously a good risk to reward ratio. That's another thing that we all need to look out for, always looking out for good risk to reward ratio. And then over here to USD CHF, most times USD and USD CHF tend to move in opposite directions, but if you look over here, this one is telling us that it wants to push in this manner and continue. And then the same thing for Euro USD, want to sell Euro USD and then to sell USD CHF. That means that probably one of them is lying, probably one of them is trying to give us a fake move. It might be this one or it might be Euro USD. Only time will tell. And of course, both of them can still end up moving in the same direction at the end of the day. Remember we said that most times they move in opposite direction. That doesn't mean that it is all the time, right? And then USD JPY, we had this very big move. That was yesterday, Monday. We had this very big vertical move down. So obviously I wouldn't be fighting this. I would like to continue with this and see whether we can get an entry here to continue to take it down. I would never fight the trend. especially when we have a vertical move just like this one. When we have a vertical move just like this one, I will not fight this move, right? So I'll look out for the market to come back to retest this, and then we get an entry to follow through, right? So the next one we have is USD CAD and then gold. For USD CAD, well, we're looking for, as you can see, a breakout to the upside, come here to retest and then push higher. Now, as much as the trend is a downtrend, it doesn't mean that the trend cannot, change at the end of the day or reverse, or it doesn't mean that the market cannot go to retest areas of interest. This is an area of interest which is a resistance and then another resistance. So that means that this week the market might want to go and test this area here of resistance or test this area here of resistance. We're just trying to take advantage of what we have here and then cash out as quickly as possible, as we don't hold trades over the weekend. So we hold trades for about maybe 3-4 days thereabout. So looking at what we have here, final instrument we have is gold, XAU USD. For gold, well, it has been a bit of a hothead of late, and what we have here on gold, as you can see, our levels, don't forget your levels must always show that price has acted as support and resistance at one point in time, and that will give you confirmation, as that is a flip zone. We also have another area here, if you look very well. This here is resistance, support, support, resistance, and so on. So understanding your areas of interest are very key, and then look at how the market moves and reacts to that area, and then you look for your trigger. So looking at what we have here, I'm looking for something in this manner, right? And then we get our entry somewhere here. So I want to say thank you. This is just a quick one. We would update this later during the week to see whether we're able to get a position on any of these our instruments, the major currency pairs and gold, right? So don't forget to use proper risk management. Also, don't forget to use a stop loss to protect your account, right, so that you don't end up blowing it. It's very key that we don't do that, because if you don't have money in your account, then there's no way you can make money. Even if you're going to have losses, ensure that those losses are on the minimal side. So thank you, and of course we'll update this again, and then we'll all look at what happened from this. Don't forget, this is the before, and then we'll show you the after of the trades. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day, right? Goodbye.